William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We are here at the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Board meeting, the agency known as DART to Dallas, Texas residents. As a service to the Dallas community, we plan to cover DART board meetings from gavel to gavel. Public comments are required to keep DART board aware of issues close to the ridership that they may not get through other resources.
Good evening. It is 6:30 on Tuesday, March 24th, 2015, and this Board of Directors meeting of the Dallas Area Rapid Transit is called to order. Our first order of business is approval of the minutes of the prior meeting. So moved. All those seconded? All those in favor, please signify so by, any objections, corrections, revisions? All those in favor, please signify so by saying yes. Yes. Those opposed, say no. The minutes are entered ordered as presented. I'm going to deviate from the order in the agenda for a moment. Oh, thank you. And take items 4, 5, 6, and 7. The first item came through the Planning Committee. Mr. Slagle, did you have? Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Plan Committee heard this item. Item number 4 is approval of interlocal agreement with the Department of Transportation, Texas Department of Transportation, for funding of a value pricing pilot project that was discussed and approved unanimously at all levels, and I move for approval.
Second.
Motion. There's motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify so by saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. Motion carries. Items 5, 6, and 7, Mr. Wageman, were from your committee.
Thank you, Chairman Strauss. I move approval of item number 5, depository bank disbursement officers and signature authorizations for the agency.
Second.
Motion made and seconded by Mr. Stouffer and Mr. Slagle. All those in favor signifies by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. The motion carries. Mr. Wageman.
Chairman Strauss, I move approval of item number 6, approval of DART investment officers.
Second by Ms. Wong Kraus. All those in favor signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. Motion carries. Mr. Wageman.
Chairman Strauss, I'm going to bifurcate agenda item number 7. First, I'd like to move for approval of the 13th Supplemental Debt Resolution for the agencies. This is a parameters resolution for a potential future refunding in 2015. This motion is to consider the entirety of the resolution with the exception of the paying agent. It's been approved by the Budget and Finance Committee as well as the Committee of the Whole. I move its approval now.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. Motion carried.
Chairman Strauss, I'm going to ask Director Stouffer to consider the second half of this bifurcated vote. It's relating to the approval of the paying agent for the agency. I'm going to recuse myself from the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Wageman. Mr. Stouffer.
Mr. Chairman, I would move forward based on the recommendation of the Budget and Finance Committee that we move forward with the paying agent to be AMG Bank.
There's motion made and seconded on the paying agent piece of item 7. All those in favor, please signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. Motion made and carried. That concludes the voting items for this evening. I thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is the CAC report. Ms. Silver?
Citizens Advisory Committee, and this evening I'll be reporting on the meeting of March 19th that we just recently had. Fred Pratt, manager of the State Relations at DART, provided our committee with an update on the current session of the State Legislator, the Texas State Legislator. It was interesting to learn that 2/3 of the state legislators are either freshmen or sophomores, and as a result, DART has made it a point to meet with these new State House and Senate members to reinforce the importance of public transportation. Our state includes rural areas where the transportation interests lie mainly in enhancing roadways instead of expanding and maintaining the state's transit systems. We are particularly concerned about the introduction of Senate Bill 1048, which would divert some federal funds away from DART's mass transit passenger rail projects. All CAC members understand the importance of contacting our local leaders and state legislators to encourage a vote against this bill. Other bills on the legislative agenda were discussed, including a bill that would protect riders' personal identifying information when they share their information electronically with the transit authority. The last day of the regular session of the 84th legislature is June the 1st. And in my report, I outlined some of the topics that we discussed at our meeting, in particular 3. The first one involved the customer information system Next Stop display. Members shared how impressed they are by the video display inside buses showing the street intersections of the next 3 bus stops. This helps orient riders and prepares them as they approach their destination. The next topic that I highlight regards detours and other interruptions during road construction. We talked about bus travel challenges during street construction projects. We brainstormed ways to improve communication of detour information to riders. One idea to make the riding experience more manageable during a detour is to post temporary informational signs to direct passengers to the nearest temporary bus stop at a bus stop that was regularly on the route and is now temporarily discontinued. Also, when street or road construction does not involve a detour, the temporary bus stops should be placed more strategically. Currently, there are instances where a bus stop remains in an area that is inaccessible due to the construction, and other bus stop signs are removed at the end of the road construction where a bus can safely stop. And we talked about the fact that we lose ridership because some riders do not want the inconvenience of wondering where to board or deboard in these instances. Whether or not there is a detour, we agreed that bus operators can alert riders in advance when he is going to skip stops due to construction. Also, we advise the use of the customer information display inside the bus, if it has this capability, to alert riders of skipped stops and temporary route changes. DART's use of electronic messages on cell phones would also alert riders to these temporary changes. Due to passenger disabilities, both audio and visual alerts are needed. The third topic that we discussed was safety and security. This was another key concern. It was agreed that more police presence is needed, and one member cited instances of misconduct on the Blue Line. We also recommend having more police on rail platforms and also at bus stops. Both these areas often have no supervision. One of our members reported being pushed to the ground by boisterous teenagers at a bus stop. Our next meeting will take place on Thursday, April the 16th at 6 p.m. We expect to hear a briefing on either the EEO and diversity or safety and security. Board members are invited to attend. Please join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Silver. Our next order of business is our public comments. We have an introduction as to conduct for our public comment. Mr. Slagle will read that, our Assistant Secretary, and Mr. Carrizales will be chairing this. Thank you all very much.
All right. General public comments will be allowed at the beginning of each DART board meeting for a total of 30 minutes, and again at the end of the meeting when the 30-minute period has not accommodated all speakers who have signed up to speak. Individuals who have addressed the board in the past 30 days will be recognized to speak during the public comment period at the end of the meeting. During the public comment period, board members may not interact with the speaker or board members by asking questions or offering their comments. Members of the public are reminded that the behavior during a DART board meeting is governed by DART Board Code of Conduct for citizens, news media, and visitors. Personal attacks, impotent and slanderous remarks, and boisterous conduct will not be allowed. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. The green light on the podium will indicate when you can begin speaking. The yellow light indicates that you have 1 minute remaining, and the red light indicates that your time has expired.
Thank you. We have 8 speakers tonight, and the first speaker is Cynthia Garza.
Go ahead and start. I have 3 major issues I want to cover since the transition from Aetna to Blue Cross, Connected Care, and eScript. My question to the board is why Express Script making a medical decision on my medication? There are no doctors to do so. My A1C has been at a 6.8, stable for 3 years on Lantus. No other medications work right now for me. Now removing Lantus is going to affect my health, having a mental disabled daughter who needs me and my family who needs me. Choices like this can affect my health. I also had a fraudulent claims made on my health insurance. I reported it many, many times to Blue Cross and the fraud department to Blue Cross and no response. Reports I made on February and March 2nd, I finally received a postcard letting me know that they will be in touch. And I also had a fraudulent perpetrator in a 3-way with Blue Cross. And the response I had with Blue Cross was, what do you want me to do for you? And I was disappointed. And when DART implemented the change without letting any of us know about, made it very difficult for me and every employee to get seen from their primary positions and also to have access to our HRA and FSA funds. There could have been an easier way to communicate with every DART employee. How DART makes decisions on our health insurance benefits should be based on our best interests of our employees. Cutting corners just to save money isn't right, isn't fair. Decisions like this can cost a life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garza. Our next speaker is Sandra Pettis.
Hello, my name is Sandra Pettis. Did you need my address? You have all that. Okay. My name is Sandra Pettis, and I'm saying hello to the DART members and everyone. I am here today, glad to be here today, and I have along with me is my helper, May Shane. Okay, so there are a lot, because we are now people with disabilities, we have traveled a lot, and staying at home is just not for us. So we use your services, and we're very thankful and grateful for the services that are provided. And I wanted to tell you, we're very happy with a lot of there are a lot of great things going on there. But so we know that there is a lot of life left to live. As your saying says, stay mobile. I like that, and I think that's very good, for a good way for us to be. Okay, so my helper and I are very saying to keep in mind that you may not never know when you may end up as a person with a disability. And this is the reason why I'm here, because I found myself now as a person with a disability and want to still communicate and shop and do different things. And because of your services, they are very, very helpful to it. Okay, let's see. On behalf of the people with disabilities and all people, we thank you for everything that you've done to help and provide a safe place for us and a way to go still if we're in wheelchairs. Whatever you've done to help us, others benefit also. This is true, and I've seen it. We are glad to be here to let you know that things are going well in the city and how to also let you know how things are going out there in the field. Good things, bad things, the ugly, but I do want you to know there are a lot of great things. Although I have two concerns I wanted to share today, I just wanted you to know about there are a lot of good things going on with your paratransit drivers and your train drivers. I am from Fort Worth. We are both from Fort Worth. So to get even over to this side has been made possible through your paratransit and through your train. So to see how important that is. So we make weekly trips from Fort Worth to get over here and go to our connection. We are familiar, or I know some are familiar with Reach of Plano. So we attend exercise classes there and business courses there, and different things there. So with the companies working together, that has really been able to help us from being way over at Fort Worth to still be able to have services that would get us over to the Dallas area, because we weren't knowing how that was going to be possible. But we did find out. Okay, so I want you to know that there are some great things. Let's talk about the good things right quick. Drivers are doing a great job. Oh, okay, I missed the yellow. Okay, so would that be, would I be able to be one that will be able to come back?
Ms. Pettis, you had two concerns. Could you just tell those briefly, the two concerns? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, two concerns. One, over at the train at the TRE, there was a gentleman door worker that opens the door for, I guess, the people with wheelchairs. We were sitting there waiting for the train, not running up trying to catch it. We were sitting there. The train came up, he opens the door, and he sits there and looks at us, stares at us, said nothing. Nothing. I kept thinking, well, I guess he'll get the ramp and help us to get whatever. He said nothing. Zero. And then next thing I know, the door's closed, the train's rolling off. I'm like, what just happened? That left me with the nod of, I don't know if there's been proper training. Other concern, but that was very rude, and that was wrong. And the second thing I was concerned about is when we make it over to Union Station, I feel like it's a safety issue. When we exit off the train and come down the ramp, which is wonderful, we have to cross over right there. We are never safe. When is it okay to cross? Her manual wheelchair gets stuck in the track, and so we try to get off and get on across, but meanwhile, not knowing when do we cross when it's safe. Last week let us know that this is a major concern because her wheels got stuck again, and while we were trying to get on done and get on across, here comes the train around the corner. We could not see it, but here it comes. The people are screaming, and I thought, there's got to be a better way to let us know there's a safe way that we can know to cross. Those are my two concerns.
Thank you, Ms. Pettis.
You're welcome.
Ms. Pettis, if you would talk to Doug Douglas after the meeting. Doug, could you raise your hand? He's right straight back behind you.
Doug Douglas? Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Peggy Jackson, or is that Reggie Jackson? Sorry, Peggy Jackson. Peggy Jackson, okay, sorry. Sorry.
Good evening. I came to speak to you tonight about your risk management department. I believe that they are falling short. Drivers every day are being drug tested in different divisions, and I know that there has to be a level of privacy. But when you lock two complete strangers, a male and a female, in a bathroom and sit a table and two chairs in there, it's unconstitutional. You don't sit them in there while they're waiting to use the restroom. They used to sit outside the area. Now they're locked in a bathroom, which I have pictures, until they're ready to use the restroom. If it's a female driver, they wait in the men's room with the door locked with the drug tester until it's time for them to use the restroom. Then they go around to the female restroom. If it's a male driver, they lock them in the female bathroom And when he's ready to use the restroom, they go to the men's room. But there's no way they should be sitting in a bathroom when you have 3 hours to go, looking at a toilet, waiting to take a drug test. It's insane. When I talked to the manager about it, he told me he was instructed by your risk management department. Your risk management department has done a lot of things that I think need to be looked at. First of all, they're letting the driver's licenses, CDLs, drop to Cs because they don't get the paperwork to the divisions on time. In the process of that license dropping, that operator has to take off of work to go straighten out their license, which the Department of Public Safety has been very good. They reinstate them the same day. But who pays them for that day? Do I need to file 100 grievances to get them paid? I shouldn't have to. The division should pay for that. Or if it has to come out of risk management's budget, that's where it needs to come from. The driver should not have to take a day vacation or take off with no pay because risk management dropped the ball. I'm asking you to please look into this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Our next speaker is Tammy Walton.
Good afternoon. My name is Tammy Walton. Let me read. I'm picking up where Ms. Peggy Jackson left off about risk management. Risk management thinks that they can file false workman's comp claim because of hearsay, not having any type of input on the person involved. They filed a false claim on me when I went to the emergency room for the flu. I didn't want to file a claim because it was the flu. Because someone was trying to get the hospital paid, they said that I said it was workman's comp. I've been here 12 years. I know how workman's comp work. Even after I explained it to them that I had an injury 12/25/2013, sometimes I go to the same emergency room because I have a back issue. Even after I explained it to Amanda Nelson, to Damon, and I didn't talk to James Duff, but they forced Mr. Irvin out of East Dallas to do a false claim. That's false. I never say it was workman's comp, and that's not the first time they did it. Mr. Duff did it once before, and the courts made him retract it because it was a false claim. I did not ask him to do it. I did not tell anyone it was a workman's comp claim, and they need to stop putting things on our records that we didn't ask them to do. The claim, it's old. I went to the doctor 10/24/2014. They just filed a claim. That's 6 months old. Your policy doesn't state that. Policy say you have to do it the day you go. Policy also say you have to do it within 30 days. Even after I explained it could have been a mix-up on the insurance. Amanda Nelson didn't get a call from the doctor. It wasn't even a nurse. It was a bill collector called her. So she felt like she could do a claim on the flu. And when you do a claim, you have to do a first injury report. They didn't even ask me to do a first injury report. Only thing they was concerned was workman's comp. Now what they do, it makes me look bad. It makes me look like all I do is fill out workman's comp claims. That needs to be stopped. They shouldn't be able to fill out a claim because they feel like it. If I don't initiate it, they shouldn't be able to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walton. Our next speaker is Erica Green Dawson.
Good evening. Erica Green Dawson. I'm coming to you in regards to Blue Cross Blue Shield and on behalf of my mother, who is also a bus operator. She's at work and unable to be here, but we have the same concern. My mother is, has a possibility of being physically disabled. She's been on a medication for over 7 years, which all the other insurance companies have covered. Blue Cross Blue Shield paid for it once this year, and they decided they no longer wanted to pay for it. She has rheumatoid arthritis. Without this medication, within a month, she will be unable to walk, unable to write her own name, unable to, of course, work. She's a bus operator. She can't walk, she can't work. I don't see how that can be fair. There's another lady here that said the same thing about her own personal medication. How can you take away something that is going to affect the livelihood of your workers, the people who keep the company going? Without operators, without mechanics, and without the worker bees, there is no DART. And you take away our medication that helps us get up out of the bed every single day. She's been on this medicine 7 years and come to work with the same illness for 7 years. And all of a sudden, oh, well, Blue Cross Blue Shield is not going to pay for it now. Now her health is in complete jeopardy. She will not, if her medicine is not, they've already denied it. If she doesn't take it 2 weeks from now, she won't be able to get out of the bed and move, which means she won't be able to come to work, which means eventually she won't have a job. Because if she misses too many days, goes on short-term disability, then long-term disability, then they will replace her with another worker bee. I don't think that that's fair. She's invested her time, her body, and her family, and her everything in order to be able to work, to take care of her family at her home, and also to play with her grandchildren, to be able to walk. Things of that nature. I don't think it's right, and I think something should be done about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Quinn Dawson. Our next speaker is David Blankenship.
Well, good evening. I was waiting for the light, I'm sorry. I'm here to talk about our insurance, and specifically Connect Your Care, and the fact that we're having trouble getting bills paid. We're going to the doctor, and I'm saying I'm hearing this all through the shop. I'm a mechanic at Northwest. We go to the doctor. We can't swipe our card at the doctor. We've had some employees whose doctor has said they will not see them until their deductible is paid. Well, that's what our card's for. Well, now we're being told that we're supposed to just go ahead and tell the doctor to bill us, and Connect Your Care will send us a check in the future. I've had an issue where I was able to use my card at the doctor, and then 3 weeks later I get a check in the mail for the exact amount of my deductible. I'll call Connect Your Care. They can't tell me what the check's for. Their response to me is to cash it and take my family out to dinner. That's kind of sad. I know DART's paying them good money to do this job, but obviously they're not doing it. They're letting us down. They're creating a lot of hardship in the shops, with the bus drivers, with everybody. I honestly don't know what it's going to take to fix it, but y'all really do. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this short and say that, you know, DART's been preaching to us 5-star service, 5-star service. Y'all want us to give y'all 5-star service. Right now, I'm lucky to receive 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blankenship. The next speaker is Thomas Hutchinson.
Thomas Hutchinson, 1911 Laverne Creek Lane, Harleton, Texas, Financial Secretary for the Union. I'm here tonight about the health insurance also. I had a chance to be a part of the management meeting on Friday, and it was pretty much explained, and I think they're trying to do some improvements as of April 1st. But I do have a concern. First, I want to just tell you a little bit of the horror story. The first deal I had was my wife's medicine, $987 for medicine. We've never paid nothing like that. And she get the same medicine 30 days later for $87. Also, my wife had to go to the hospital for major surgery at USMD Hospital in Arlington. and we had about half a day with the staff out there. They have never experienced the 3-tier that's been put in place here. They have no clue. And I don't know how many other hospitals there. Blue Cross Blue Shield refused it. The card, I had over $2,000 on the card. They still refused it. They said we couldn't take the card. It has to go through Blue Cross first. The people put them on the phone. They argued with each other for a long time. The administrator said, "He just died, hang up the phone." She went upstairs and got one of the heads at USMD to okay the surgery. This is something that we've never went through. Let me say like this. I don't know whether it's even legal what's happening, because if you go back to when I opened enrollment, nobody introduced any of these things to us. And with the health care that's been put out in the United States, they even have open enrollment period tell you what's going on. We asked you guys to fix it. I know some people are working hard, but other things came up in the meeting like, you get to a certain point, we'll cut you off and then put you back on. We've never heard that neither. We're the people that have heart attacks and strokes. Very stressful job out there. And we out there doing it. And not to be able to take care of us, it's wrong. First thing, we should not have to fight about health care. This is not a broke agency. We make decent money. But let me say it like this. Sound like somebody want to take $10,000 back. You take it $4,500 for the amount that you'll be putting in this year. And we talk about the premiums. When you get to talk about it, we already talk about $10,000. Then you want to beat me up for $987 for medicine? You want to, my wife's hospital bill has not been paid. We've never done this, and I've been here 26 years. We ask you guys to fix it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hutchinson. The next speaker is Ricky Booker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My concern is the same like Thomas Hutchinson, and on insurance, the Blue Cross Blue Shield. I had an experience last Thursday. I had surgery at Charleston Methodist. They went and set my card. They went and set my copay, and I had them to call Blue Cross Blue Shield to call, and my surgeon was waiting on me to have the surgery, and they said you don't have any insurance. So your card is on hold, and they said for you got to pay $780 something out of your pocket. And I had to talk to the administrator to plead with him to have the surgery. And I had a major surgery, I had an eye surgery. And I had to pay about $400 for him to go ahead. And I still got a balance. And they called Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they were saying that you don't have nothing on your card. They kept swiping my card. Then I called them myself, and they said, you got $500. I said, no, I got $1,500 on my card. I have never used this card. And we were just going around in circles half a day. And they finally let me go ahead and have the surgery. That ain't right. I done been here almost 30, I've been here 32 years and never had that problem. And that's all I'm having to say. It ain't right.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. The next speaker is Kenneth Day.
Good evening, board members, Mr. Thomas. We're here to say that we're employees that come to work every day, perform our jobs, and we're promised a benefit. One of the benefits that we're promised is health care. It's embarrassing when you go to the hospital, go to the doctor's office, present your card, and they tell you you don't have any money on it. It's embarrassing, or it's sad when you have to walk away from the hospital after a planned surgery because your insurance will not pay for it. We understand there's problems. We understand that someone's working on it, but this should have never got to this point. This is an agency that's well respected. Respected by the public, respected by your employees, and this is embarrassing. It is fortunate the news media is not here tonight to hear these horror stories. It is really sad. We're not asking you to give us something. We're asking you to make it happen, make it possible, what we've earned. Employees are required to go and do sleep apnea tests. When your doctor recommends an employee for a sleep apnea test, your insurance don't pay for it. Then if I go for the sleep study and it's determined that I need a machine, my insurance don't pay for it. You got employees that are paying for equipment out of their pockets just so they can maintain their employment. This is a medical issue. The insurance should cover it. We should not have to be experiencing the things that we're experiencing. It's not right. It's not fair. Let's get it fixed. Let's treat the employees the way we want to be treated. Let's make this 5-star real. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Day. The next speaker is Dennis Clay Sharpless.
Yes, I was here last week about one of your dark bus drivers cheating the customers on the dark, and they supposed to investigate and let me know something, but then they got in touch with me again.
Mr. Sharpless, if that's all you have to say, could you speak to Tim Newby? If you still want to speak some more, you have time.
Well, all right. As far as the letter on dark premises out there, you know, what the dark police need to do is get a camera and take a, that way they have documented evidence of the letter on the property, on the premises, you know. Because most of them, no evidence, you know. All right, that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Sharpless. And Tim Newby in the back will talk with you. Thank you. Our last speaker for the night is Sherilyn Samuel.
Good evening, board. I was here at y'all last meeting. I ain't got no answers for what I came down here for last week. Well, this week, I'm fed up, tired of us being treated badly by the company that we do a fine job for, that y'all get good ratings for. We got supervisors, managers that are rude to their customers. Nothing is being done. Nothing is being said. I've been here 23 years, but I'm only counted for 20 years because I was part-time 3 of those years. Never got a write-up until we went up under this 5-star crap. Because I don't agree with Carol Wise 5-star, they always harassing me. Now, the harassment is every time I go to the restroom. They send one of their supervisors to check on me in the restrooms. We're getting sick and tired of being treated badly. So when these passengers come down here and complain, it starts at the top and filters down. Mr. Wagman over here didn't want our spouses on the insurance. Well, I got a question for y'all. Why is he even on the board when his law firm does business with DOT? I can't get a contract with DOT because I what? Work for DOT. And once I leave DOT, I have to wait 2 years before I can get one. Let's stop all this crazy corruption that's going on in this company, and let's get it straight. Now, the people that management sent down to meet with you, Gary, they already groomed to tell you what they want you to know. Me, I don't have the spirit of fear, but a power and a sound mind. They don't scare me, period. I've been harassed and y'all will get this package. I've been keeping my paper trail, because you know what? One day I'm going to get me an attorney, because they crazy, to mess with somebody that's doing their job. Now, if I'm not getting customers' complaints that are valid, why am I being harassed by your staff? That's crazy. The bottom line, start at the top, clean house. Now back, late 90s, early 2000s, when we was having those fatalities, same thing went on here. New folks down here don't know what they doing. You got to keep folks in here that know what's going on to train these folks properly. When you get rid of the people that are fair and across the board because they won't kiss your behind, then these are the type of problems we have. We just had another fatality. So y'all need to check on it.
Thank you, Ms. Samuel. Thank you. The DART board meeting is now adjourned.
Ms. William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We love comments. If you don't like the way DART is handling things, lay it out for everyone to see. If you like or hate this video, tell us. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, tell us. We even love it when you call. Better yet, like or follow us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube and get instant notices of all our videos the moment